people? Hope everyone is good. There is a game, and we have some problems in the game, and that is injuries. We've got some injuries to deal with. Not like Leeds United injuries, that never happens. So let's go through the lineup because for once this season, you could argue a lot of ways as to what we're going to do. So let's get into it. And just before I do, I say thank you for the support. Yeah, like I said, busy times. The last week or so, tough. But yeah, you get through them. I guess doing stuff, busy stuff is good stuff. You're doing something, you're active, so it's all good to see. But thank you for all the support. I will reply to all the comments as you're watching this. So you're all legends. Thank you very much. But anyway, and please, just because, it's tough at these times. That's all I'll say. It's tough to do this stuff at these times. There's not as much people. So if you could smash one of them, I'd be massively appreciated. But anyway, I'll stop talking rubbish. Let's get into it. Now, obviously, the press conference, yeah, some issues. And as you can see, I've got the lineup. I'll just move these slightly forward, just so you can see them. But there is some obvious and clear issues that we have to address based on injuries and fitness. So what we know, what has been told, Manuel Solomon will not play. Max Vober will not play. Dan James still injured and will not play. Bamford is in training, I believe, but not fit. Junior Firpo and Strauch. Now, what it said, Firpo was back in training, so I'm assuming he's okay, but that is another problem we need to deal with, and we'll do that in this video. But there is issues now, because you're missing a winger, and there's potential, and look, if Strauch is fit, we'll find out. He was meant to train today. If he did or not, we'll find out tomorrow. There's no knowing. But if he's fit, he will obviously play, and he'll be fine. But we'll make the assumption that he isn't. How do we problem solve? How do we deal with that issue? So we say Strauch's out. And there's a lot of conversation now. There's many options, first of all. I don't think there's a specific good or bad option in the sense that, we have to have a meltdown if it's not the way you want. I do think there's many ways in which we can win this game. So we'll go to the first option, and that's if Ampadu drops into centre-back. Now, look, everyone was praising, and me too, a squad, the importance of a squad. The reason you have a squad is obviously for competition and all that stuff, also to fill in gaps when it's needed. Now, that's what Ampadu is there for, because Ampadu, believe it or not, although it's not ideal, and we're not in an ideal situation here, because we have injuries at centre-back with Vober and with Strauch. That is the ideal. The ideal is Vober comes in. That's ideal. Like for like. Left side of centre-back, perfect. But he's injured too. So this is where a squad's important. And this is where the first option is Ampadu. Because last season, in our good run, when Strauch was injured again last year, Ampadu came in there, and for the most part, him and Rodon had an excellent partnership. That is known to Farker. That is continuity. That's a trusted partnership. He trusts them two at the back based on how much they played together last year. So this is arguably the most likely scenario for me. It's not ideal. I want Ampadu in midfield. I thought he played well the other day. But what will Farker do and why? A trusted centre-back partnership is vital in any league, in any team in the world. Two centre-backs that know each other, that trust each other, that know how each other work is important. If Pascal's out, who knows who's a better partnership than Rodon and Ampadu that's a known quantity without changing things? There isn't one. So that's option one. And we'll go into the variations of option one in a minute. But the second option is to bring in James DeBayo. Dominantly does play the right side of centre-back, which would be an issue because they're both right side of centre-backs. I don't think he's going to chuck him into a game like this. There's the Pato White as well, who has been training with the first team. The video on him, good player, very good young player. But the point is, it's too much of a risk. There's no continuity. There's no proof that it will work. I think this is a big game for Leeds. I think Farker knows that. A tough opposition. I think to bring DeBayo in against Hadji Wright and Ellis Sims or whatever, yeah, it's tough. I don't think that's an option. I've also seen online, and I'll go through it, the potential of playing a back three. But again, I'm looking at our injuries here. If maybe you had Voba come in, that might work. You know, people saying you've got Rodon, even Byram at centre back, you know, with De Bayo or something like that. I've seen that online, so let's talk about it. Not for me. This just doesn't work. There's no partnership there. There's no continuity there. There's no understanding there. Byram isn't a centre back. Can fill in there. De Bayo is young. So that's a no-no for me. That's all I'll say. So for me, the clear option at centre back, assuming Strauch isn't fit, is Ampadu. Now, that's the case. What now? What's the next step? That's the conversation now. Who's filling in that midfield role? There's two names. Tanaka, Rothwell. And I think it's fair to say they're the two in contention for that role, assuming we play the same formation. Charlie Cruz, a young lad. Not for me, not in this game. Again, you're playing a good team in Coventry. Charlie Cruz not playing many minutes. He's doing his thing. He's developing. He's getting first team experience, but playing for the 21s. He's happy doing that. He's good doing that. Keep him doing that. So who is it? Naturally, you'd instantly jump to Tanaka. And look, I personally want to see Tanaka play. I think look, you guys know I love Tanaka. But predominantly, Rothwell has been playing more minutes this year in games where he's come on. Rothwell's played more. So there's more of a pool there for Daniel Farke. Especially in what will be an trust me, an ultra physical game against Coventry. But a game where I think we'll dictate the ball, or we'll try and dictate the ball. And you're losing Ampadu in midfield, which you do lose that physical presence that Ampadu does bring in terms of his recovery and his timing of tackling and stuff like that. He's very good. He's not a big physical player and a dirty player, but he's an aggressive player when he can be, when he wants to be. You're losing that. And although Rothwell gets this name to be that, I don't think he is. The problem here is I don't think either of these two are excellent defensively. I think they can do a position well. You know, they can track well, they can intercept well, they're smart at reading the game, both of them. But they don't give you the output Ampadu does. So, for me, I've got a feeling Farke might go with Rothwell, which I'm fine with. Again, look, played at this level a lot, was very good at this level a few years ago. And I'd be alright with that. Like I said, I'm not going to lose my mind over anything because they're all decent players. Rothwell's getting criticism. He's a squad player. I've said this since the day he came in. This is the point of a squad player. He comes in and does a job when he's needed. But we have Tanaka in, who in the long run will be more than a squad player in this side. Farke wanted him last year. Farke likes him. He talks about him a lot. He's wanted him for over a year now. Is there a better opportunity to come in now and stake your claim? Because Farke will want his place to stake a claim. Right? He will. He's our player. We bought him. Will he bring him in? The only reason he wouldn't bring him in is because of the game state. You're playing an experienced Coventry team who'll be very well coached. Is it the wrong game for him where there'll be a lot of physical duels? Maybe you want someone who experiences this league more. And when I'm thinking about it now, that's making me think he will play Rothwell. So that might be a thing based on that. But what I am going to say is, I'm just going to put my personal preference in there. Nothing against Rothwell. I just really like Tanaka. We have bought him. He's not a loan player. I think it's important that he establishes himself in this side. He's not played a lot, which is making me think Rothwell. With Gruev and Ampadu and Rodon, what you do have there, you have some decent defensive players behind Tanaka. A decent four, decent shape. Whatever Strauch is, a better defender than Ampadu. Ampadu, for me, he's good at reading that midfield role and understanding if he can step into it, where the passes may be, the progression and stuff like that. Because he is a CDM, he is a centre midfielder, so he understands it. You've got Gruev covering there. I think to give Tanaka a start now is the perfect time. He's not played a lot of football, but I don't think he needs to, because the biggest trait of our Tanaka, is, I've said this many times, is his brain. He's a very smart footballer. He adapts and learns well. He might have a few icky moments in games where he might get caught on the ball, he can't really get into it, but he will learn and develop through the game. That's the thing I love about him. He's a quick learner. And I think this is a good time to bring in a player that you've wanted for a year. There's not a better opportunity for me. And I think we've got to have the confidence within ourselves that they are a good team, Coventry, and it will be tough, but we're good as well, and we have good players like Tanaka who can come in, stake a claim. Because I want to see this midfield dynamos here. I want to see this. I like the look of this. I can't lie. So that's what I'm going to go with, but it could easily be Rothwell, and I'd be all right with that. I'd be annoyed it's not Tanaka. I like Tanaka, but I understand the rationale for Rothwell as well. Now, I'm just going to put this to bed. People want Perrault either in the 10 or Mateo Joseph switching. Not for me. Again, I think Perrault's been doing well off the bench. I think right now that's his role. If he keeps doing it, this talk, if our strikers on number 10 aren't doing it, this talk will come in. I want to see him in the 9, not the 10 personally. That game against Norwich in the playoffs, that's the type of performance I need from him. Right now, he's got his role. He's doing well with his role. I don't want to change. Farke won't want to change too much. He's not going to make 3 or 4 changes for this game. Or try and change as little as possible. That's why I'm not too sure if Tanaka will play. But I don't think Perrault will start. I do think he'll go with the exact same here. I think that'll be the same. Aronson's been good for me. He's been inconsistent still, and there's still little things he needs to fix up on. But them assists, them key assists, they're coming from him. He's a little bit of a difference maker in there. Still improvements. He's a little bit of a difference maker. Excuse me. Mateo Joseph, again, I think he's playing well. The issue for me, and what I want to talk about now, is maybe we did need another centre-back. Maybe a younger guy who was ready to step up. You've got De Bayo, who I like a lot. You've got Laporta White as well in the 21s, who I like a lot. But they don't seem to be ready to step up just now. We needed someone between De Bayo and Boba, that young guy who maybe, I mentioned McNulty, who's a left back but can play centre back, who started the season quite well. To be fair, I've been watching a bit of him. A player like that ilk, who comes in now. But we don't have that. That's the situation. Also, striker, we do not have the depth. Is Bamford fit? I don't know. He had another knock in training. Bro, he's not trusted as a 10, a 9 in this system yet. You've got Mateo Joseph without any real deep competition for the role that is required for the number 9 in this system. And the known quantities that can perform that role, none of them are fit, or they don't fit that specific role. He's just got to keep improving Mateo. He's got to keep learning. He's got to keep developing. He's doing well. Young man. He's the number 9 for Leeds United. He's playing the number 9 for Leeds United. That's a big role for him, but that's no excuse to not perform. And he isn't. He's playing well. He's got to keep it up. As long as he's contributing to the game, I'm not bothered about goals in that sense. Then there will be a time where we'll need him to chip in more. And look, he's got a goal. It's a good finish. He's missed a few chances, but he's got a few key assists this year, which are very important. He's part of it. More will come. And he'll know that. But I think it's fair to say Nonto's going to play, but which side? I think it'll be the same. Again, continuity. I think Ramazani comes back in. Nonto goes on the left. Ramazani comes on the right. Nonto's got Rank on the left. I think that'll be the same. Like I said, I don't think Farke want to change too much. The questions of the third poll is simple for me. He just come out. Is it? It's not simple, actually. I would personally go with this for the same reason as Tanaka. Schmidt, for me, he does fit the mould of Rico Lewis, a Rico Lewis type player. Obviously not at the level of Rico Lewis in his career yet. Maybe we'll never reach that because that's a ridiculous level. But he's very similar. He's very comfortable anywhere on the pitch. Very smart, good player as well. I'd like Schmidt to play. But again, just going on experience, I have a feeling... Again, this is what's that? The point of a squad. You can't be annoyed when Byron's playing. Everyone was happy with him to be here as a squad player. This is the point of a squad player to come in now. Schmidt still needs time for me, based on what Farke has said. The fact he brought him on the left wing. There's still time there. He's trying to just figure him out. That'll take a few more weeks, I think. But Schmidt's, yeah, he'll get into it. His time will come. Don't you worry. His time will come, definitely. Very good player. I like him. But I think Firpo's going to be fit anyway. We've got to remember, guys, this is I know they're low in the league, but good manager and good players. Very physical game. I don't just want to bring Schmidt, maybe a Tanaka, all these risks. I don't want to make them. Stick to what we know, make as minimal changes as possible. So that's the lineup I'd go with. I think it's a good lineup, not ideal, but this is a situation we're in. You know, that's the situation we're dealt with. So for me, that's what we'll go with. I'm happy with that. That's more than good enough to beat Coventry. Looking forward to the game. Yeah, let me know what lineup would you guys go with, and we'll find out soon, but just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you for the support. Please like the video. It just helps in these tough times. For YouTube, it's very hard right now on YouTube. Can't lie. But yeah, see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.